We don't want to keep our fans waiting.
That's right. Multiple.
All right, we good? Ready. Okay, what is today? Today is Tuesday, April 9th. This is the Planning Commission meeting for the City of Ocean Springs. Call the meeting to order. Looks like all commissioners except Joey Conwell are present tonight. Anybody that can, please stand. And I'll say a quick blessing for us, and Mike will lead us in a quick pledge. God, thank you so much again for this opportunity. We just get to come up here, serve this city that we love. God, help us make good, informed decisions to help this city to maintain its charm and its character. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I don't have a pen. Let's see if this one works. All right, meeting is called to order. First item of business will be item 2A is the approval of minutes from March 12th, 2000, or of this year, 2024. Everybody had a chance to review? Any comments, questions, concerns?
Motion to accept?
Motion to accept by Kevin, second by Marshall. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Those will go down in the annals of history.
And before we get to there, just wanted to introduce the new Community Development Director, Carter Thompson. Just want to make your...
Is she going to do a speech?
I am.
Do you have a speech
It's a very
for
long
David?
speech, too.
Good to have you, Carter.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And I understand you'll kind of be assuming what was Carolyn's role in these
That's right.
meetings accidentally for the last 11 years, right?
That's what I heard.
Okay. All right, so minutes are approved. Everybody welcome Carter. Item 3, new business, will be the only agenda item today. This is going to be a public hearing for 114 Ethel Circle PID 612-75004, 000-614-60003.100. Russell Rayburn requesting to rezone for RM2 multifamily residential district to CMX1 neighborhood commercial mixed use. As noted, the applicants and the public will be allotted 5 minutes each to discuss the items, and we tend to give the applicant a, I'll call it a rebuttal period at the end, just for lack of a better word. So, do I have a motion to go to public hearing? Motion Matthew, second Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are in a public hearing. Is this a Wade?
This is.
Okay.
All right, you said this is a request for rezoning to the CMX1 neighborhood commercial zoning district from RM2 multifamily. These property there on the screen. This is the formerly the Jeff Davis Apartments, now known as the Porter Condominiums. It consists of a total of 44 dwelling units in 10 two-story buildings, including a swimming pool and a laundry building for amenities on the thing. The intent, according to the application, the intended is for mixed-use multifamily residences and short-term rentals. And notes that the reason for the change in zoning is there's been a recent uptick of the need for short-term rentals. So they're requesting the zoning of the property change to CMX1 to allow for short-term rentals. Just would note that you can see these from that surrounding zoning, the existing CMX1 zoning abuts this property about 250 feet on its north property line. In this area, the Porter Avenue corridor, for the most part, the CMX1 commercial zoning is the frontage along Porter Avenue. There are some situations on the north side along with Azalea and First Street where it extends into the neighborhood, but in general, the commercial zoning is the frontage of Porter Avenue. There's a short list in the report on page 2 of the uses that are permitted in CMX1 that are not in this RM2 district, including hotels and motels, general retail services, offices, and uses of that sort. Just want to point out that per the state law that the criteria for a change in zoning has to be 1, there was a mistake in the original zoning, or 2, the character of the neighborhood has changed to such an extent to justify its reclassification, and there has to be a public need for the rezoning change. In this case, mentioned to you the reasons for that the applicant presented for that doesn't include the description of the change in the neighborhood. And according to our records, our research that we did of city records, the last rezoning in this Porter Avenue neighborhood was in 2004. That property was on the north side between First and Azalea, and that actually went from the C1 district, commercial at that time, to the R2 single-family district. It noted that properties not abutting Porter remain residential, and the area has seen no change in use. That was in 2004.
Wait, can I stop you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wasn't there a dentist office at the corner? Didn't we do something to it? Was that not a rezoning maybe 2 years ago? I don't remember.
We looked at the dentist office at the corner of what?
I don't remember.
Or it was Wayne.
Weems' office?
Wayne's office.
That was 2 years ago. It must have been longer than that.
Yeah, it's been,
You remember what we did there?
yeah, it was the,
Is that a hot split or something? What was that? What did we do
No,
now?
that was a rezone.
that was a rezone.
Oh,
Trying to remember right offhand, it was taking it from CMX1, which would have been the light commercial, to 2, I think, is what he was asking. I think, yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't so you know, one residential, 2 commercial then.
No, it was already commercial. He was just asking for higher zoning.
Okay, sorry about that, Wade.
okay. Also in the report, the staff report, it makes some reference to the comprehensive plan and how that affects this. So I think that concludes our staff presentation on it. And I'll answer any question you might have about this. Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have anything for Wade specific before we call for the applicant? Nope. All right, the applicant want to speak?
Yeah, I'll speak for.
Get your name and address at the microphone, Pete. I didn't want to give away any spoilers.
My name is Hollis Williams, but I go by Pete, nickname. And I'm representing Rusty Rayburn that has taken an apartment complex and upgraded it to a condominium setting. He's added bicycle racks at every building, planted 40 new trees, talking about, as mentioned, the pool. And so we've really improved this property in y'all's great city, and the possibility of having short-term rentals influences his business plan, and he would like for the future owners of these buildings to have that option. And so rezoning was the method or the route that we chose to request first. We do bring your attention, I think we've counted this afternoon right over there, didn't put this in the application, but there were 15 commercial operations within 750 feet of this condominium plant. And so, though the last zoning was in 2004, I don't know when the zoning map was done, but probably before 2000, we see that the community has changed significantly, and we think that this would improve the overall plan for the city to change from RM2 to CMX1 as per this request. I have some handouts that I put with my application. Did y'all, is it appropriate?
Yes.
Did y'all have those?
Yeah, you can. I think it's the diagram of intended use.
Right.
Yeah, you can hand those out, but it is included in our packets.
Okay, you can see that, the pink borders us on the north, and 2 parcels borders us on the north. It's pink, and it's the only property that separates us from Porter Avenue. And it's vacant, you can see our development from Porter Avenue. And then the brown on both sides is what this is on currently, which is the RM-2. And so we just want them to embrace the property in front of us and be considered CMX1 is what our request for. And the reason for our request, again, is to allow us for those short-term rentals.
Y'all own or the people are representing, do they own those two properties?
So there is privately owned property between us and Porter Avenue.
Gotcha.
Mississippi Coast Properties LLC and Shams LLC owns the property between us and Porter Avenue, 2 tax parcels. Can answer any questions that you may have.
Anybody got any questions for Pete?
I do have a few questions. Have y'all done like a ratio of thinking if y'all do go for short terms, how many would y'all want in there? Like, y'all have a cap, or y'all just wanted to leave it open?
We haven't. So we have a couple potential buyers, but, just a few. So we're in the marketing, we're starting to market these properties, and we have someone that maybe.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So
Let's get, sorry, name and address real quick.
Rusty Rayburn, address?
Yeah.
105 Fairmont Place, Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Okay.
So we anticipate maybe 35–40% maybe would go short term. I would want to put a cap on it in terms of the bylaws to not allow 100% short term in there. So
You say 35, how many units is it total?
it's 44 units.
Is that something that you would put in the selling agreement, or is that something that you would actually put in a deed restriction for doing a cap?
I have not thought that through.
Okay. That answers my question on it. Thank you.
The condominium plat did not speak to that, and it's been filed.
Yeah.
When we moved from apartments to a condominium plat, it's been filed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else for the applicant for now? Okay, we're gonna go to the public. Like I say, if y'all need to come back up, we'll give you another rebuttal chance at the end. All right, so anybody else in the audience want to speak about the rezoning of 114 Ethel Circle? Anybody else? Once, twice sold? Okay, well, I don't guess y'all need to rebut anything. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
So moved. Motion Mike, second Matthew, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're out of public hearing. Let's hear some comments and thoughts.
I have a comment in regards to this and the Porter Avenue corridor overlay, or not overlay, I'm sorry. How does this property fit into that?
Right outside of it.
Yeah.
Right on the border of the Porter Avenue.
And I correct, I mean, I looked at it earlier, but that's correct, right? The Porter Avenue just goes to the back of the properties that are on Porter, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But we feel fairly certain that development is going to take place and that there's going to be more commercial coming into play
Which one?
on Porter, just north.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
You're saying something in the words.
Yep.
Now, wait, I know we don't have a traffic study, but I'm guessing that 90% of the traffic goes from this straight to Porter and not follow Ethel Circle into the neighborhood.
What neighborhood?
Well, not the neighborhood, into the
There's just a
residential.
little loop right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I was just making sure.
I mean, this is the main entrance and exit, which feeds directly onto Porter.
The traffic would go directly to Porter Avenue.
Yeah, and I drove by there yesterday, and there is significant vegetation that surrounds this property, separating it from almost all the residential properties.
And it looks like there's 4 lots, is that correct? In the residential area?
On this property or on?
Outside of it.
I believe, can you go to that?
I think it was 2, 3, I think it's 4 duplex buildings, but then I think there's a single family, and I don't know what it's used for, but it looks like there's a single family home like in the southwest corner.
Yeah.
Single family rental, long-term rental.
It's a long-term, but it is single family occupied, whatever. Okay.
And there was no opposition from the neighborhood?
Yeah, we didn't get any letters, emails, or anything else from any of the neighbors.
No, we notified a 500-foot radius of the rezone.
You know, but my question, Wade, was this where they also notified this could open the door for short-term rentals?
I mean, that wasn't specifically put in the notice, but the notice says it's requested to rezone to CMX1 district, and if you have questions to contact the office about it.
I also sent out personal letters to all the neighbors.
But, and you also addressed that at short term.
I don't know, I can't speak exactly on that. I'd have to look at the letter.
Well, I think we also got to keep in mind that the change in zoning is perpetual. So if somebody wanted to come in and put a gas station in there, you know, they sold the property and they come and put a gas station there 5 years from now, they can do that.
I don't think gas stations aren't allowed in CMX, but to your point, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, tobacco shop, durable consumer goods.
It opens the door, you know,
Convenience store, which is.
on record, I'm not opposed to short term, I'm just going into a residential area, you gotta look for a change in the character of the neighborhood, plus you've got a lot of residential that abuts the property with only 2 parcels that are non-developed, that are touching the property as commercial, so.
I think that the argument for change of character is pretty evident because of, I mean, it's 2004 was the last time it was rezoned. I think that the neighborhood's changed quite a bit since then. You just look what's going on right across the street and to the east, I'm sorry, to the west of that.
I tend to agree that when you're talking about Porter Avenue, anything more than, 2-3 years ago is changed.
Right.
Now granted, it's not on Porter Avenue, but I would argue it's close enough. Now, if the 2 lots that were between Porter and this property were residential,
Yep.
I would say absolutely not. But since they're also commercial, I kind of see it as a natural extension of Porter Avenue to kind of becoming its own entity. Even if stores or something did come in there, I don't think it would be that much of a disturbance to the residential character of that area.
Well, to your
The part
point,
that still is residential.
yeah, to your point, it is pretty low-level commercial uses allowed. I mean, if it was gas stations and whatever, that may be different.
And, I've always heard that, and I think it's pretty common knowledge that Porter Avenue and that area is going to become the new entrance into Ocean Springs, so I think that you're going to get a lot more requests like this coming down in the future.
It's been my entrance for a long time. Those of us on the know, right?
So that was my opinion coming into this, and that if one person had stood up and said no, I would have reconsidered my initial opinion, but
But my question to that is, what they're wanting to do. I mean, I'm looking at the zoning map as a whole of all the property around it. We're cutting into residential pretty hard.
now, if this was zoned R1, I wouldn't even be considering this, absolutely not. It's already a condominium. It's already, in my opinion, pretty much a commercial use.
Well, here's how I view it, is instead of looking at these 2 parcels, is that really truthfully, Ethel Circle should go all the way over, all the RM2, all the way to William Street should be rezoned all the way back
Rezoned to what?
to either CMX1 or CMX2. I don't like the idea of just cookie cuttering, blocking it in.
You talk about those, was it 2 lots, 3 lots?
Yeah, but
Between Ethel and...
No, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other parcels.
But the problem with that is it's, the nexus event of rezoning almost has to be the owner coming to us, right? So, I mean,
Not necessarily.
there are ways to do it, right? But
If we're saying that there's a change in the character of the neighborhood and we're wanting to push forward with this, it should be a zone evenly across the board.
I understand where you're coming from. If there was, say, a batch of 10 properties, and it made sense to rezone all of those from residential to commercial for whatever reason, and just one of the homeowners said, I don't want to rezone my property from residential to CMX, I would allow them to be an island in that commercial if they wanted it.
one thing Kevin said too about, that just wanted to double check before I spoke, but I mean, we are talking about only really effectively one jump in zoning, right? So RM2 being the least restrictive residential to or CMX1 being the most restrictive in commercial. Now, you are changing the front letter, which is a pretty big deal in the zoning world, but it is effectively only one zoning change. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you kind of made me look it back up with what you said on already being.
Yeah, and like I said, if one resident had written a letter, I might be thinking differently, but he said he sent letters. We know the city has sent letters, and if nobody's here to say, I'm opposed to this, I kind of think this is a logical extension of where we're going on Porter Ave.
That's the right there in the northwest corner of that picture. That's the new, like, the try hard, right?
Correct, yes.
And I tried to do a little cheating on Street View. It looks like it came in after 2013, but before like 2019. But I mean, it's a relatively new. I mean, I remember when it got built. I just don't remember about when.
First
trying to think.
in,
Of course, you know, the Beatnik is there just to the west.
Well, the Beatnik, the collective. I mean, I think Mike's kind of point about.
no, there is no deny that there's not growth in that area.
Right.
I mean,
All right, so the question I asked myself, and this goes back to what Andy was saying. So would I be upset if 5-10 years from now, a hotel, motel, or other accommodation service was built there, or it was converted to that? No. Short-term rental? No. Hotel, motel, tourist court? No. General retail sales? No. Durable consumer goods? No. Tobacco store? No. Convenience store? No. Financial insurance office? No. Theme or festival center? I'd have to look more into that. Tear it down and build a convention center? Fashion or specialty center? No, I wouldn't have an objection to any of those. Considering it's fairly secluded, it's kind of an island of itself, and it's not really infringing on any other properties. I don't see the traffic infringing on anybody else either. Anyways, that's where I stand.
The floor is still open for questions and comments, or if anybody wants to take a motion, we're about at time. What you got, Marshall? You got something on your mind? I can tell by looking at you.
No, I agree with pretty much with what's been said.
before we move more forward on a motion, Will, do you have any comment?
No, I don't think it's my place as city attorney to comment kind of on the policy decisions y'all are discussing. I think y'all are on the right track. I understand the discussion about the short-term rental, but y'all are focused on the right things in terms of changing character is really what we're looking at here in the decision and public need. That's what the decision, one way or the other, needs to be based on tonight. I mean, that's all.
That's what I'm looking for is to meet the, change the character and the public need.
And let me ask you this, Will, from a legal standpoint, I get what you're saying, you're not involved in policy, but, you know, the application wasn't that specific on changing character, but we can discuss and document the change of character we see without.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not gonna say one way or the other how I feel about on approving or not approving, but I think there was a substantial discussion here tonight on changing the character.
So like having a weak application, on that portion of it versus what was, I mean, it doesn't matter if it was in the application is my question, I guess.
No,
From a legal, I mean, I know
I think
rezonings are,
I think it's fine.
we're talking state law, not Ocean Springs law here, so, okay.
All right, I'll take a stab at it.
Yep.
Recommend approval of the rezoning of 114 Ethel Circle from RM2 Multifamily Residential District to the CMX1 Neighborhood Commercial Mixed Use District due to changing character in the neighborhood, provided they provide parking lot lines and ADA access. That was one of the notes in Wade's report, that they're lacking that right now.
I second.
You second?
I second.
All right, so I have a motion by Kevin to recommend approval, second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So that carries unanimously, that will go away, that will skip one and be on the first,
First board meeting in May.
You have a date on that?
Usually May 1st, I think.
We do them on the 1st, right? No.
First Tuesday.
It'll be the 7th.
May 1st is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay.
All right, so.
What do you care? You're not going to be here next week.
All right, so that will be recommended for approval. It'll go to the board, another public hearing, correct?
Great, we'll be a
For the
public
board, and that'll be on May 7th. Same bat place, same bat channel, same bat time. All right, that's all we had on the actual agenda. Any general public comment, off-agenda item discussions needed to be had? Rarely is. What about commissioner forum? Anybody got any questions, thoughts?
Yeah, I just,
Do we know if the urban renewal plan is going to come back? I know we bumped it off the agenda 2 months ago, a month ago.
Or,
Got it.
what are you talking about, the marina?
Yeah, sorry, the marina.
That's-
Not coming back? Okay. Just curious.
So that is also the area on the beach for the marina, the parking lot, et cetera, and the event center.
There's nothing on the agenda. We don't know.
Yeah, that is
Ultimately-
deferred to a later date.
Yeah, we discussed the urban renewal plan in an earlier meeting, but we didn't get into the specifics of what, where, when, just the actual plan itself.
Well, I think you're mixing up. The urban renewal got approved.
Right.
But then we had
UDC
a,
amendment for concerning the marina was bumped off.
That one was bumped off,
Bumped off the UDC amendments from last month.
but we're not going to revisit it anytime soon.
I haven't heard any discussion
Okay.
about that.
so let me ask Wade, this is for you. Because it didn't come back now, y'all are gonna have to re-advertise that, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
That would be.
So it'll be re-advertised online before we hear.
Public notice, online on the city's website, the whole,
Right.
The whole shebang.
I got another hand, we'll go with it.
Question.
Sure.
What is the max short term in the city of Ocean Springs? I was told it was 125.
There is no max, there's 3 different categories, I guess, for lack of a better way. We have kind of I'm gonna make it too simple, and these aren't the right words, but we basically have the downtown district, which is capped at.
downtown, boy, I wish you hadn't asked me that. I don't remember the
There
numbers
is
of
no
that.
cap in the
There's
downtown
no cap. I thought
overlay.
there was no
Well, I'm not talking about commercial, when I'm saying down west half,
The
basically.
downtown overlay, there's no cap.
No, I'm talking about just the west half of the city, like near downtown, density zone, that's the word.
I believe the density is 55, but don't quote me on
Yeah,
that.
I think it's 55 in the density and it's 65 in the city limit.
Right. And then commercial is open.
Yeah,
So,
no cap.
Thank you.
yeah. You get what plan, if you want to know where those zones are, ask them, because I just say the west side and the east side, and the east side's way bigger. Okay? All right, you were going to say something, huh?
yeah, I just want to thank Wade for all his years of service here at the city. I've only worked with you for these 3 years, but certainly a pleasure, and good luck in your future.
Thank you very much. I've been, enjoyed working here for the past 8 years. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm staying in Ocean Springs. I'll be around, but I'm going to just enjoy retirement for a while.
I thought that's what coming here was.
That was semi-retirement. I went from, let's see, 3 meetings, 3 evening meetings per week to basically 2 per month.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a retirement.
How's that honeydew list?
Game over.
And Carter, of course, welcome to
Thank you
to
very
Plan
much.
Commission.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you, Wade.
Just
Thank you.
in with one and out with the other, huh?
Here we go.
Motion
Yeah.
adjourned?
All right, motion to adjourn, Kevin, second Matthew, all in favor?
All right.
All opposed, we are adjourned.
Good deal.
Carter, is there a better time of day to call you? Morning, afternoon?
Anytime, Sean.
All right.
What I always tell people is you can call me anytime as long as I can choose whether or not.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.